What is the gospel? Yeah, that's a great question, and in the previous episode of Short Answers, we began exploring an answer to it, really showing how the word gospel actually means good news. And when we're thinking about the life of Jesus, rather than thinking about the life of Jesus and the claims of Christianity in terms of religion or philosophy, really we want to be thinking about them as a news event, and whether Jesus' life really happened and whether it means what Christians have always claimed that it did. But I think we can go much further than that and begin thinking about the implications of the gospel and what it means by really summarizing the whole of the gospel, the whole of the message of Jesus' life and ministry and teaching, death and resurrection. You can summarize it in 3 words with this statement: Jesus is Lord. And in fact, that's what the New Testament says. The New Testament says that the test of being a Christian, what makes somebody a Christian, is if they are willing to say, Jesus is Lord, and they say it with their mouth, they believe it with their heart. That's the test of what makes you a Christian. But packed into that short little statement, Jesus is Lord, each of those words is loaded with a huge amount of meaning behind it. Let's take them one by one. Jesus, at the heart of the Christian faith, is not belief in some kind of abstract God, some kind of life force underpinning the universe, or some kind of distant God who wound up the clockwork of the universe and then disappeared off, never to be seen again. No, rather, in the New Testament, we are told time and time again, if you want to know what God is like, look at Jesus. Because the New Testament claims, time and time again, that the God who created the universe stepped into history in the person of Jesus Christ, took on a human form and came to us so we can know what he's like. Want to know what God is like? Look at Jesus. God has a name and a face, a person, an identity. Jesus is Lord. Second word in that statement, is, really matters. You see, at the heart of the Christian faith is not the message that, Jesus was once Lord. 2,000 years ago when he walked the earth, he was Lord, but since then, it's all gone to pieces. Nor is the message of Christianity that, the world is pretty messed up now, but never mind, one day Jesus will come back and then he'll be Lord. Rather, the message of the New Testament is Jesus is Lord. Today, right here, right now, there is no square inch of planet Earth, there is no second of chronological time where Jesus is not Lord. And that, for me, gives me huge confidence when I'm going through struggles and trials in my life to know that however hard I may personally be finding it, he is still Lord. He is still in charge. He is Lord, right here, right now. And then the third word in that statement, Lord, matters as well. Because when people look at Christianity, they often think, well, maybe it's a philosophical idea or a set of ideas about how to be a good person or all of these things. But that's not what the Christian faith is. It's a lordship claim. Jesus comes to me, comes to you and says, I am Lord. And the question is, are you willing to take your hands off your life and let Jesus have charge? You see, as human beings, our natural tendency is to want to throw God out and to make ourselves God, to make ourselves center of everything. But when we do that, says the Bible, and says the testimony of human history, not merely do we damage each other, we damage ourselves in the process. Jesus comes to us and says, look, I'm Lord. I'm the one who made you, who created you, who knows what your life is supposed to be like, who loves you so much, says Jesus, that I died for you and gave my life for you. Now, are you willing to take your hands off your life, bow the knee, and say, Jesus, you are Lord? And says the New Testament, if you can say with your mouth and believe with your heart that Jesus is Lord, you are a Christian, you are a disciple, you are a follower of Jesus. Jesus is Lord. That, in a nutshell, is the gospel.